Shalom. I was reading out of Isaiah 36:37, and I just wanted to share something that really stood out to me. So it's the account where the king of Assyria is taunting Jerusalem and pretty much being like, "Oh, oh, is your God gonna really save you? Have you not heard about us, how mighty we are, and how many places we have conquered? And how is your God gonna save you?" And, just really, I guess, it looks like attempting to sow seeds of doubt and surrender into Judah, the people of Judah. And so then in chapter 37, Isaiah 37, we see King Hezekiah, getting really nervous because they're really being taunted by Assyria. And he says to God, he says, "It is true, O Lord, that the king of Assyria have laid waste that the kings of Assyria have laid waste all the countries and their lands, and have cast the gods into the fire. Now, O Lord our God, save us from his hand, so that all the kingdoms of the earth may know and fully realize that you alone, Lord, are God." So that's all that's written here. Like Hezekiah going to God and being like, "God, it's true. Like this army is very mighty." So he says that, and then he says, "Please save us." And not just please save us, but also please save us so that everyone would know that you alone are God. Because it seems like the odds were stacked up against Judah in terms of, comparing armies and really seeing how powerful Assyria was. Oh, pardon, I'm sleepy. And then God answers in the following verses through Isaiah, and he says, "Because you have prayed to me about the king of Assyria, this is the word the Lord has spoken against him." And so then it goes into this big thing about God pretty much, talking to the king of Assyria, being like, "You're being pretty arrogant right now. You know, yeah, you're being pretty arrogant," and many, many other things, and saying things like, "I've used you through Assyria, I actually used you to attain something that I wanted to attain." Anyway, and so that's all that happens. I mean, in terms of like, I'm focusing more now on King Hezekiah, that he goes to God and says, "It is true that they've conquered all these places. Please save us for your glory." And then so it seems like that's like it was kind of left there in prayer. And then God's response, if we go to verse 36, again in chapter 37, verse 36, "And the angel of the Lord went out and struck 185,000 in the camp of the Assyrians." And then in verse 38, "It came to pass as Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, was worshiping in the house of his God, that his sons killed him." So it's like what stood out to me is that God moved by his own hand. All that Hezekiah did is just set it to God. Like, "God, this is scary. Please save us." And then God heard it and was like, "Okay, let me act." And he did it. So that's something, just, how, like, to me, yeah, what stood out is how omnipotent God is, and how he just, because it says here, the angel of the Lord went out and did this. So I'm just thinking like sometimes we might ask God for a miracle. I guess this would be a miracle. And I mean, I myself have found myself in situations where I'm thinking, I don't know how it's going to happen, God. And so when I read something like this, it gives me hope that, oh, maybe God can actually like really intervene in like a divine way. It gives me hope that it's possible, because I see that in this case it seems like Hezekiah prayed in distress, and then God answered by sending his angel. And then it also happened that the sons of the king actually acted against their dad. So that could also be seen as a form of punishment. But anyway, that's all I wanted to share is, yeah, divine intervention, omnipotence of God. Shalom.